It's the state Class B girls basketball tournament. You're going to hear each and every one of the Grafton Spoiler girls basketball games right here on digitalnorthmedia.com. I'm pleased to be joined by the head coach of the Grafton Spoilers girls basketball team, Lori Seaman. Coach, state tournament's here again.
Hi, Chris. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Talk to me a little bit about the team this year. You guys had a great season, been in the top 10 all season long. Talk about the girls this year.
Yeah, I'm super excited about the progress. I mean, going into the season, we were super optimistic and excited about what, we brought back and just super excited to see how they were going to, grow into new roles. Obviously, a Walker Demers and a Reagan Hansen, a Cassie Erickson back. You know, they played huge minutes for us, but their roles obviously changed and maybe a little different um, leadership capacity. And then girls that you'll see on the floor tomorrow have been a part of the process the last three state tournaments. With Jade Moe stepping into a starter role minutes, Ainsley McLean stepping into that role, and then Akira Cole kind of filling into that Cassie Erickson role that she had, right off that super sub off the bench. And then when you can add a Claire Barnaby, a senior, to the extension of that rotation, just that experience. There's a lot of experience back and how they've adjusted to new roles and our seniors just adding to that leadership with a Grace Narlock, adding to that extension and the leadership the seniors and juniors have put forth throughout the season. I think just super proud of them, how they've just made that a domino effect. And that's huge when you go into tournament play, is, your experiences only helps you if you prepare. And this group did exactly that throughout a regular season. And that started in the off season. That started after last year's state championship run. And then, to have our sophomores with, a Trinity Parsons and Addison Frederickson, to see that our sophomores and freshmen to absorb that each and every day in regular practices. That just makes your program strong. And I tell you what, though, we are in the tournament where we wanted to be. That was a long-term goal, but we knew preparation was key, and we just want to have a lot of fun this week. So the focus is Thursday. The focus is today in practice right now. I think we got practice number 48. And we just want to come and bring readiness tomorrow and have a lot of fun doing it, Chris.
Talk about your scoring. You take a look at your top three scores in double figures, led by Walker Demers at 16 points, Reagan Hansen 13, and Ainsley McLean at 11. Of course, you've got, like I said, Reagan Hansen in there at, just about 14 points a game. Senior Athlete of the Year for Region 2. Balanced scoring throughout this spoiler team outside of those top three.
Absolutely. We've had some great balanced scoring throughout the season. Walker, Reagan, and Ainsley and Cassie Erickson have been kind of consistent with that scoring. And we look for the scoring to come from them. But what we've seen throughout the season, and that's spoiler basketball, our emphasis is, do the things that make us hard to be guarded. And, Walker Demers and a Reagan Hansen create a lot of attention. So, it's key that everybody's comfortable with the basketball. And, I can't say enough how these girls that return from varsity minutes have stepped up in their roles. They've been very consistent, and they know, it's not just about putting it through the net. What can we do to create positive possessions on the offensive side? A Jade Moe stepping in and she hit some big shots. Claire Barnaby hit some shots in that region championship game. Ainsley stepped up. They've been kind of a dual purpose at that point guard spot. And, they try to take Reagan away in that championship game by face guarding. And Reagan just showed that, along with Walker, you got 2 or 3 people, running at those girls. They just continued to, find ways within the game to create scoring. And maybe it wasn't them doing the scoring, but it was getting teammates and different girls having that confidence to step up. And that'll be really important in this state tournament run. So just we're just super excited about how consistent the girls have been with their games throughout the season, and in preparation equals confidence, right? And um, we really like how girls have stepped up in the roles, but we also are pretty excited about the growth and the depth we've created, um, because that's these kids believing in the process, trusting in the process. These are girls, this lineup that you see, they've been part of the process in the state tournament runs the last 3 years, with just different roles. Reagan last year, she was really a defensive stopper and an X factor for us offensively. So we had a lot of confidence in her and offensively last year, but a lot of her energy really was a focal point in putting her energy on that other team's opponent, where now a Jade Mole kind of slides into that role and is a quarterback to our defense. Back to Walker and Reagan, they've had to kind of adjust to, Walker, last year she got the attention too, but you maybe had some focal points in a Carly Sieben and a Julia Dushik and a Reagan Hansen. Well, now it's like they start with Walker and Reagan, and then Cassie Erickson's had to adjust to that too, where boom, she's a starter, and now teams are keying on her. So these girls have really adjusted to their roles. Super proud of how they've done that. And then back to a Jade Mole stepping in and just helping us take another leap and absorb the defensive emphasis for our spoiler basketball program. And then an Ainsley McLean stepping in, ball control, being consistent. I just can't say enough of this crew. And then a Kira Cole and a Claire Barnaby and Grace Narlock knowing their roles. And when you have that stuff going on, teams find success, and we need to do that going into this week. Everybody's got to be ready in their roles, and then we got to just keep the joy, right, Chris? Just it's opportunity number 24, and I know you've heard me say that over and over. It's another opportunity to get in and get better with this group, and we're going to just really enjoy practice today, and we're going to enjoy, and we're super excited to get back to the Betty.
Tell me what you know a little bit about your opponent in the first round and the Kenmare Honkers.
Well, I tell you what, Kenmare has great culture within their program too. They're a team that's very familiar with a state tournament. They come in just like the other teams besides us, and they have expectations, right? And I don't care if you're seated, I don't care if you're unseated. None of that matters. What matters is that you come ready and you put the best version of your team to test Thursday. And that's what we got to do, is we got to play spoiler basketball and just have a lot of energy and fun doing it. But Kenmare, what I do know is they got really nice post play. Strokeland, I think you pronounce it. She's a center. I think it's going to be a nice matchup for Walker and Kira. You'll see her on it as well. And, and then they've got some guards that shoot it really well. They are out without their point guard, which, is just, I don't ever like hearing about that, but they've had to deal. She tore her ACL and earlier in the year. So this is a team that's fought through adversity, and they've had to adjust to roles. They have a lot of their team back from last year outside of the point guard that got hurt. Very talented Coach Zimmer's daughter. So they've had to fight through adversity and learn to play without her. But the Miller guard shoots the ball, is very aggressive to get to the rim. So we're going to have to contest really well. We're going to have to contest all their starters. And we expect to see a lot of man. Coach Zimmer, he's aggressive defensively. We actually saw him a little bit this summer. We had a team camp we hosted in Grafton, and rugby hosted one as well that they participated in. And Coach just puts Coach Zimmer puts a lot of time into his program, and he showed up with his RV, and the honkers unloaded in our parking lot, and we had a really good, run with them at team camps, but that's team camps. This is this is our season, and I expect a defensive battle with them, and they're going to be aggressive to try score. So um, they're a team that puts uh, 49.2 points up a game, and they hold opponents to 39.3. So um, it'll be exciting to see what we can do against them.
1 o'clock, the tip off, the Spoilers and the Kenmare Honkers. We'll have it right here on digitalnorthmedia.com. Coach, best of luck this weekend in the state tournament. We'll see you down at Grand Forks.
Thanks, Chris. Always good to talk to you.
Lori Seaman, head coach of the Grafton Spoilers, state tournament week. We'll be back in Grand Forks this week on digitalnorthmedia.com.